learners, we are going to see as Cisco Packet Tracer one of the example. The problem may be connecting two different networks using one router and configure the router as DHCP server. So here we are going to come up with the topology first. Let me bring a router here. The router name called 2811 router, I brought it here. You may use any router. And then I'm going to come up with a switch. Two switches I want. 2960 switch I brought. I'm going to set up with the two networks. So I need a two switches I brought. Then I need N devices. So I'm going to get two N devices for each network. So that's how I brought it here. And then I need a connector, the cable I require here. I'm going to connect to two different devices, so I need to have a copper straight through cable. So I'm going to select with the fast Ethernet port of the system to the switch. Same way you can choose fast Ethernet port of system to switch. You can also use the automatic connection as well. So it will select the cable type automatically. So I'm done with this. Okay, so we are going to connect it. Yes, the topology is ready. Now we are going to connect the switch to the router. Since both are networking devices, so you may think that it is a same type of device, but it is not so. It is working with the different layers. Switch will work in the data link layer, router will work with the network layer. So we need to go with the copper straight through cable itself. So I'm going to select the fast Ethernet port from switch and the fast Ethernet port of the router. So the other device also we are going to connect the network through this. So the topology is ready. So now we need to configure the router as DHCP server. For that, what are we going to do? We are going to write the CLI command. So click on the router and then select CLI, and then we are going to type the CLI command here. First, it's asking continue with the configuration dialog. Say no, press N and then press enter, and it's asking press return to get started. Just press enter, and first you need to enable for the configuration mode. So just say en or enable you may type. So now it turned to router hash, it has come, so it is enabled now. Then next we need to configure the terminal, say config t, and then it got enabled here. Configuration mode is enabled. Now we are going to enable one by one the networks. Okay, so DHCP server, we are going to modify the router as a DHCP server now. First, let's say interface, and then here we have first fast Ethernet port 0/0 we have, and then press enter. And now we are into fast Ethernet 0/0, that which means I'm talking about this network. So here I need to say what are the IP address I'm going to set for this network. So we have a command called IP address. And then I'm going to set the IP address for this network as 192.168.0.1. The default route IP address, gateway address I'm giving here. And then follow that you must give 255.255.255.0, which is a subnet mask. And then the next step, you may have to say, now if you look at this, the port is not up. So to make it up, we may have to say no shutdown. The red in color will be turned to green in color. So no shutdown. You can write the shortcut and press tab. You will get the full form. And then say press enter. You may see here now the port turned to green. Right? Okay. So this is done. Now the port is turned to up. Now the next step, we need to create a DHCP pool of IP address. So we have a command called IP DHCP. Okay, dynamic host control protocol, and then pool of IP address we need to create. So pool, and one name we have to give. I'm going to say net1. Just press enter. And then here the network of IP address we need to say. So network, type network, and then give a space. Then say the default IP address for this network 192.168.0.1, and follow that subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and then press enter. And then here we need to say default router. Default router is 192.168.0.1, and say enter. and you may exit from this interface. This network is completely ready. Let's check here. I'm going to click on this PC and then desktop, IP configuration, select DHCP. The request is going here. See, the DHCP request is successful. So we have given the network ID as 192.168.0.1 we gave. So within that network, any IP address may appear here. So we have got the default gateway as we gave, and then 0.2 is assigned for this particular system. So now I'm going to select the next system, say desktop and IP configure. Click on DHCP. Sometimes it may not appear in one time. You may have to try multiple times, it will appear. Okay, so this DHCP IP address is generated for this. Just close this, but this end we have not configured. Only fast Ethernet 0/0 we have configured. Just click here and CLI command. We have to continue the same manner. So here I'm going to say IP config already is enabled. So now I'm going to say interface, interface, interface space. The next IP address is going to be okay, first fast Ethernet 0/1. This is going to be my next interface. And then here my next IP address I'm going to say. Next IP address is going to be 192.168.1.1. Earlier I gave 0.1, now I gave 1.1, and then followed that give a space and give subnet mask 255.255.255.0 and press enter. And then the next step you need to say no shutdown. Okay, no shutdown, no shutdown. So your no shutdown. Then you can see here the port is up now. The port is up now. The next step we may have to give the next step we have to give a DHCP pool name. We may have to give a different name. We may have to give. So here I'm going to say IP DHCP, IP DHCP pool. The name of the pool I'm going to say net2. Net2 I gave. Okay, DHCP spelling wrong. So DHCP, DHCP, DHCP pool net2 I gave. Okay, the next step we need to say the network in the network IP address. So network IP address I'm going to say 192.168.1.1. Follow that, give a space and give the subnet mask 255.255.255.0 and then press enter. Then the next step we have to say default router. So here I'm going to say default router as 192.168.1.1. Okay, default router is done. Okay, then we need to save whatever we have typed it, whatever the configuration we modified, we need to save this. To save, we have a command called do write memory. So let's say do write memory, do write memory. Yes, we are done with. We can exit now. We can exit now. So I'm not closing the screen. Let me go to the system and then explore DHCP IP address. It is requesting. Yes, we got it exactly 1.2. We got it, and then let's try with this device. DHCP request has gone 192.168.1.3 default gateway. Everything is all right. Okay, now we can start simulating. I want to send the packet from PC4 to PC6. Okay, it says failed. Let me try again. PC4 to PC6. Yes, it has come successful because the switch have to read the MAC address first time. So you may try twice, it will happen. So PC5 to PC6. Yes, it is successful here. And let me say PC7 to PC5. PC7 to PC5, it is successful. Thank you.